Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this lecture, I will teach you about JavaScript const. So here what is const? So const it is a keyword in a JavaScript that is introduced in the ECMA script 6 EU6 2015. It is used to declare variables that cannot be changed or redeclared. You see here variable that cannot be changed or redeclared. So what is its mean? We will explain with example. Then here we have once you set a const variable, you cannot change its values. So here we will have a topic one like cannot be redeclared or reassigned. So here we have example like this. Here if you write const pi, it is equal to 3.4. Okay, so its value is const. Okay, you cannot be here change its values. You see, once you set a const variable, this is pi, its value 3.14, you cannot change its values. So let's here we will here don't worry, here we will explain with incorrect example. Suppose here if you const values, let me first here to comment in this here const pi it is equal to 3.14. That is fine. But if you try to assign here, assign to a constant variables, okay, let me here, we will assign its new value like 3.14. So this is, it is here guys. Like here 159. So it is a error. Okay, you cannot use here its definitions that is here used to declare variable that cannot be changed or redeclared. You cannot redeclare. Okay, here we have redeclared. Okay, then here it is your reassigning issue. How here you have to declare a variable, but if you try to reassign a value, basically here then it is wrong. You cannot do that. And then here we have another example like redeclaring its value. Here if you try to redeclare the same variable, here we are assigning the values in different value, then this is wrong. Then here redeclaring a variable like here if you write pi, then if you write 3.14159, then again you have to try to redeclare some value like pi. You see it automatically cause in the issue 1.5. You see you cannot redeclare same value as a const. This is here, and here we are assigning the values. This is also wrong. Okay, this is incorrect thing. Here you cannot change its value. You cannot change its value or declare its again. You have first, if you first time declare its value, here assigning the value, then you cannot again assign different values. Okay, this causes the issue. Then for the redeclaring conditions here, if you declare a variable, then again you cannot redeclare the same variables again. You see pi, and you see here changing the values. So this causes in the issue. Okay, so you cannot do that. This is a very important point about this is topic first cannot be redeclared or reassigned. Okay, with the help of const variables. Now let me move to the next topic. Here second must be assigned a value immediately. Here you cannot declare a const without giving it some value right away. Let here you can explain. I can explain with example like name here. If you declare a variable, then you must assign a value. Okay, if you use the const keyword to declare a variable, then you have to must assign a value like here fin. Okay, so this is correct thing. So here is logic is that whenever you declare a variable using the const keyword, then here you have to must assign a values to this variables. Let me here. So it is here if you write here if you declare a variable like this, so this is correct. But if you try to declare a variables like just here you have to declare a variable, then Why it gives this? I think we have defined multiple times. Okay, let me remove this. This is right here, const name. Okay, then you say views could automatically detect the error here. Const redeclaration must be initialized here. You have to assign value to this const variables. If you try to like here you have to write name and then try to here assign a value. Okay, so here it is wrong, guys. Here you cannot do that, but here with the help of let keyword you can do that. Okay, so with the help of let keyword you can first declare a variable, then later on you can assign a value. But whenever you try to declare a variable const with const keyword, then you have to must immediately assign a value like here const. Then here if you declare a variable name, then you have here assign a value immediately, guys. Here immediately here name, then fin. This is the values. You see, you cannot declare a const without giving it values right way. So here what we have done here, just like const here we have first declared the variable, then later on we are assigning the value, then it causes this. Okay, but you see here must be assigned value immediately, just whenever you declare a variable name, then here you have to assign a value to this const variables. Okay, I hope you got this point, so you have to keep in mind. Now next thing here, const has a block scope. A const variable exists only inside the block here. Curly braces where you define it. So later we will explain with the example. Suppose here we have the correct example. Let me here we will define const x it is equal to 10. It is equal to 10. And then okay, here a const variable exists only inside in the block where you define it. And then const x it is equal to 5. And then let me console.log so that you got the result in the terminals. It is x and x values. It is what? X. Okay, just in this x. Then outside here you have to print console.log x outside. You see the result about x. So tell me what you got in the result here. So you see the const variable is just only inside the block. Means in this block here curly braces. So inside it here. Okay, here inside only this curly braces. Here x have the scope. You can access x anywhere in this curly braces. Okay, but this x has the global scope. You can access anywhere, basically bottom to this line of code. So here console.log. Then outside it here you will see the result what 10, and inside it here you got the result x it is 5. So let me try to execute on this file. Yes, here you have to write main underscore script underscore 8. I know that what is this one. You should first write the note. You see here x it is equal to 5, and then here outside 10. So you know const has a block scope. This x here, this x value you can access anywhere outside in this parenthesis, but this x value 5 you have to access only this parenthesis. Okay, basically curly braces. Okay, now let's move to the next topic. You have to comment in this. So here you see like each block has its own x, and they don't affect each other. So here is the next topic, const work with array and object too. So here is the definition. When you use the const with arrays or object, the variable name and reference cannot change, but you can still change the inside and the content, whatever you want. So here first example with constant array. So let here we will write an example const code it is equal to inside it here it is so, and then value here, the next it is bmw Okay, so inside it here you see the definition. Here, when you use const with array or object, the variable name here, that is a variable name cannot be changed. This is car, but you can still change inside the content. And this is a content, you can change its values. You see here when you use the const with array or object. So you see it is const and this is array. Here we have assigned this variable const core. The variable name cannot be changed. You cannot change this value, but you can still change the inside the content. Basically inside area. So inside area we have the value like shop, Volvo, BMW. So you can change its value. So how you can do that? Here if you know a little bit about how to get the index values, this first string it is like a zero index, then value it is first index, BMW it is second index, okay, 0 1 2. This is a zero index, first index, second index. So I want to access with here const variables with zero index means you got here you got in this position. So I want to just change its value. It is equal to Toyota. Here right, Toyota. Just right. Then after that here let me push ODs. Then after that here we have to use the course dot push inside it here. You can push ODs. Then let me just console dot log here course. Then tell me what you get the result. Like here you have to print your course. Then here you got in the value like first here zero index it is in place of save it is Toyota. Then here in the last place here we will add the new one that is OD like Toyota, then Volvo, BMW, ODs. So let me try to here you can okay no. Just console.log you see the result. Let's make sure to net files. You see Toyota, Volvo, BMW, ODs. Got it? So you see the definition, but you can still change it here. Change in the inside in the content means this is array. So inside it here you can change the its values. Okay. So here we will move to the next. Here you can change the element. Now next it is here you cannot reassign the whole array. So here it is the incorrect example. Like if you try to do that here like this. Here if you define the const cost is equal to inside it here self, then Volvo, this is here, then BMW. So now here if you try to reassign the whole array, so this call this like here here right Toyota, this is then Volvo, then OD. So here if you try to reassign the whole array inside some variables const, so this is wrong guys. Here let me try to print, then you see here what you get the result. And this is here cars console.log that is cars here it is comma not in the dot. You saw here comment in this variables. Let me try to check it here what happened. Then you see assignment to constant variable. This is here I have already told you. So here it is the wrong thing guys. You see here you cannot reassign the whole array inside a constant variable. So this is a constant variable and you want to try to assign the array with this constant variable. So this is called the error. You cannot do that. Got it? The next topics here about constant object. Here you can change the properties. So properties, let me here we will explain with example like const. Here if you write in the core, it is equal to here this is a method to you can define the object like it is your variable, and then inside object here, okay, inside column braces, and then it is a property, here it is keys, then it's the values. Type fetch, then color. Here if you write colors, okay. So here you can change in the properties. Let me change it here. Like I want to change in the color, then I want to add in the new keys. Let me know that here. If you assess, so how you can assess your key? You see this is key and this is property and whole it is properties. Then card dot here I want to assess car dot color means white color. So car dot color. You see suggestion by B score. It is equal to just I want to change. It is the red. Then here car dot owner. I want to add the new object here. Car dot not object. It is a key owner. Owners. It is equal to zone. So you see like in this object now what you have the result like we have type fat, then color it is red. Now here we have changed, then we have also added in the new properties keys. Okay, basically you see here inside it one more like we have the owners and its some values, it is zone. So you can check it here console dot log here object properties. Okay, now outside it here you have to just write car. Okay, you see here now fine. As I have told you, you see here. It is a very simple thing. You see here you can change in the properties. Here basically this thing you should cut from here, put it here. Okay, you can change in the properties. So now we'll try to execute in this file. Let me clear this CLS, then just you will see just here we have executed this file minus script 8. Now use here object property type it, then color it, and we have added one more properties owners zone. You see here we have first time define only two properties type it and color white, but later on we have added one more owner zone. Then here we have also changed in the values of color. Here we have the color white, but here we have change. You can change in the properties and its values. Here color, here it is white, but here we assign the new value, it is red. Got it? Then let me just here you have to comment, and this is then move to the next section. That is you cannot reassign the whole object like array. So if you try to like this, here's write in the const core here right is equal to core, then inside it let me copy paste. This is type. You have to format your document const core, then let me try to assign like core here it is equal to type, just here at BMWs, then it is color, it is black. Okay, so if you try to like this is a constant variables, and here if you want to assign here I want to assign the new object. Okay, basically new object to this car variable. So this is called this. So you cannot do that here. You cannot reassign the whole object here. So this is wrong, guys. So we have to comment. The next topic here, redeclaring in different scope. You can use the same variable name with const in a new block. It is allowed. because each block is separated to each others. Okay, this type of example I have already explained here. So right here, if you try to here define the const x, it is equal to 2. And then inside it here, const x it is equal to 3. Then outside it here, you will define one more variable const x it is equal to 4. Okay, so it is fine here. Here, basically each block have their own scope. So here, if you define x it is equal to 3, so it is fine. Here, if you define x it is equal to 4, it is fine because this x variable have value 4. It is only SS only and only in this scope here. Not you can assess here this value x is equal to 4. Like here, you cannot get like x is equal to 4. Outside it, you got x it is equal to 2 here because here we have its global scope. You can access anywhere, basically below to this line. Then here, this x is equal to 3. Basically, this x have the scope only in this block, only this block here. Got it? So you see, redeclaring in different scope it is allowed here. You can use the same variable name with const in the new block. It is allowed. It is allowed because each block is separated to each other. Then here, let me incorrect example. If you try to like this, const x it is equal to 2, then again you have to try here const is equal to x it is equal to 3. And then you got in the ISO. Let me first you need to comment on this one. Okay, then here, yes, here you cannot do that here. Okay, this is incorrect example because this x and this x variable have the same scope. So this is caused the issue. If you try to run, then you got the in the terminals. The next topic is hosting, where variable are hosted and initialized, so you can use them before declaring. Then about const here, variable are hosted but not initialized using them before declaring given here. So let me will explain with example here, and let me will try to here understand with example const. Okay, this word is fine. It is hosted, but with the const here. Here, if you try to like this console dot log core name. Okay, then after that here you try to this is const core name it is equal to value. So basically this calls the issue like a reference here. I have already told you this is here const variable are hoisted. Okay, hoisted but not initialized using them before declaring give an error. If you try to print here core name, then you got it here reference error. Let me try to just execute these files. You see here, you see issue here cannot access core name before initializations. Okay, so this is called issue. But if you here in this const here, if you put outside it here, basically top of this console log, then you got the result and it is fine. Const variable are hosted but not initialized using them before declaring given an error. So let me here we will have another example here. If you try to like this, so this is called this one. But if you try to like this here, first here you have to declare a variable and immediately assign values. Const core name it is equal to here it is value. Then console.log here it is core. Just print here core name. So this is fine, guys. Okay, so this is here it is fine. Here first, whenever you declare a variable, then you have to must initialize a value. Okay, then you are ss or print its value get this values. Let me here assign it in the terminal cls, then execute net files, and you see the value it is value. Got it? So it is correct example. Next thing is difference between var, let, and const keyword. It is very simple here, like var, let, and const. So if here if we will talk about scope, okay, scope about var, let, and const. So here, so okay, here let and const have the scope you can access only in this block here. Okay, got it. You have to access let const here. If you assign the value, then you have to use only and only that variable inside it, not outside that scope. But if you try to declare a variable with work keyword, then you can access outside it, it is also fine. Okay, so it is about a scope. Then here let me talk about the redeclare. Here with the work keyword you can redeclare, but with the let keyword you cannot redeclare, and with the const you cannot redeclare. Then also you can here reassign the values, new value with the x variable. But here with the let keyword you can reassign the new value, that is fine. But with the const you cannot do that. Then host it here, using the work keyword it is hosted. Okay, initialized in the first value undefined, that is fine. But here with the help of let keyword you can also host it your values but not initialized. With the help of const, yes, not initialized. Must assign immediately values. Here in the var function, basically work keyword it is not, and then for the let it is not, then for the const. Okay, so we will move to the next. When to use in the const. Here use const when you never plan to change the values in your projects. Okay, in your code snippets you are uh, here declaring arrays object or function that would not be reassigned. Okay, let me here we have an example. Okay, here if we here define variables const number 1 2 3 and person name is 25. Then the next it is here when to use const keyword. Use const when you never plan to change in the value. If you assign a value, okay, in that const variable, okay, and you are declaring array object or function that will not be reassigned to any const variables. Okay, so here it is most important here about const. Here first cannot be redeclared or reassigned. These two things must be assigned a value immediately is also important. Const has a block scope, it is important. Fourth is also const work with array and object too. Then next here we have redeclaring in different scope, it is very important. Then hosting, about little bit hosting. So okay, otherwise you got a reference here. Here you cannot do that like this, but you can do that here. So it is very important. Okay. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next lecture.